Thank you very much. You may all be seated. At this point, we'd like to say that it's nice to have you again this year. And every year it's an opportunity for the university, this great university, to lay it all open and to give everybody a chance to be able to ask questions from the authority involved, from the person who runs the administration of this university. And it is an opportunity for all of us to be able to come together, and whatever we have and whatever we don't know is an opportunity to ask questions. It doesn't come often. It doesn't come every time. Not all administrators will leave it all open for this kind of And at this point in time, I will call Public Relations, Mr. Avila.
Studies, Professor Olufemi. Professor Olufemi Oyelami. Thank you very much, Mr. Registrar, sir. I'm hungry. I apologize for that. Seated immediately behind him, if I forget the name of this provost, then my certificate can be withdrawn. Provost, College of Management and Social Sciences, Professor Molara Adenikeju. You're welcome, ma. Seated next to her, on her right, we have the person who delivered the 16th inaugural lecture of Bowen University. And I don't know if I can announce this yet. Okay, so I'll just keep it to myself. Professor Tunde Ezekiel Lawal. You're welcome, sir. And just on this side of the divide, Mr. Shimon, please, you're blocking me. Okay. We have a professor who is joining us on sabbatical in person of Professor Oyedepo. You're welcome, ma. Lovely to have you. The Director, Research and Strategic Partnerships, Professor Ayeleso. You're welcome, sir. And we have a distinguished member of Senate in person of Professor Ezekiel Oyerogba. You're welcome, sir. Lovely to have you. Oh, the Provost College of Health Sciences is with us, Professor Olufemi Awotunde. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much. We have a distinguished gentleman who is something of a legend in the Nigerian journalism industry, Mr. Damola Tinubu. You're welcome, sir. Lovely to have you. And now, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the following people have made their way all the way from different parts of the Southwest to be with us this afternoon. In no particular order, from Leadership Newspaper, Mr. Joshua Dada. Lovely to have you, sir. Thank you for coming. From the Vanguard Newspaper, Mr. Shino Abubakar. Thank you very much for coming, sir. From the Daily Sun, Mr. Latif Dada. You're welcome, sir. From the Daily Trust, Mr. Hamid Oyegbade. Okay, he's on his way. He's yet to join us. From This Day, we have Mr. Yinka Kolawole. You're welcome, sir. From Oshun Defender, Mr. Kazim Badmos. Thank you for joining us, sir. From The Nation, Mr. Toba Adidiji. Thank you for coming. From The Guardian newspaper, Mr. Sheye Olumide. Thank you for coming, sir. From Tribune, Mr. Kende Adio. You're welcome, sir. Mr. Bola Bamgola from The Punch is yet to join us this afternoon. From Akorede FM, representing the delegation that has come, Mr. Suleiman Kolawole. Thank you for coming. And then we have all the way from FRCN, Premier FM Ibadan to be precise, Mr. Dayo Adu. You're welcome, sir. And finally, from TVC, Mr. Rafiu Hamid and his team, please. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Please wave your hand. All right, he's also from TVC. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, there are distinguished journalists, broadcasters, PR specialists in the making who have taken time out of their very busy schedules to join us this afternoon. All the students from Mass Communication Program, could you please rise up for recognition? You're welcome. I love how you are proudly standing up. Yes, do it with pride. Those of you that are sitting down, please put your hands together for them. Registrar, you're not clapping, sir. Thank you very much. You may be seated.
Thank you very much. And to all my professional colleagues, we say welcome. And to all my students, that's not the way we do it in the mass communication industry. Can you stand and give a round of applause? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to the main domain. And it's the time to bring in Mr. Vice Chancellor. But before I do that, please, I want you to know something. And it is very crucial, very important, and also significant for an head of administration as big as this university is to bring himself up, to be asked questions, to tell about what you don't know or what you may want to know. It's big. It's not only democratic in nature. It is what we call in the mass communication field the two-way flow of communication system. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor, the pleasure in bringing on to the high table the indefatigable Vice Chancellor of Bowen University. A round of applause for him. Please get clapping. Thank you, sir.
the principal officers, the provost of colleges, distinguished Senate, heads of programs, members of the press, staff and students of Bowen University, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to Bowen University as we prepare for the 19th Convocation ceremony. It is indeed a great honor to address you as we celebrate another year of remarkable achievements, growth, and progress at Bowen University. This past year has been one of significant accomplishments for our institution, and I'm delighted to share some of these successes with you today. International partnership. This year, we have also strengthened our international partnerships. Allow me to share some of the highlights of our collaborative efforts. The first one, William Tolbert Baptist University in Liberia. We recently signed an MOU with this university. It's a Baptist university, and we agreed on helping this institution to grow just like Bowen University started. And we'll be collaborating with them by providing virtual learning opportunities, faculty training, and joint academic initiatives. We want to help them to develop so that they can share our academic excellence and godly character attitudes. The second one, the Carbon Emission Initiative. In April, a British-funded network partnership visited Bowen University to discuss carbon literacy for youth employability and job creation in sub-Saharan Africa. This initiative underscores our commitment to sustain development, with one of our students already selected for sponsorship up to PhD level. They just visited, and during interactions, to bring Bowen University on board, they discovered one of our students in computer science, and right there and then, they expressed interest in the candidate for sponsorship up to PhD level. African UniNet membership. Bowen University has been granted membership in this prestigious African UniNet network funded by the Austrian government. It's a network of African universities with the Austrian government. This membership will facilitate faculty exchange, collaborative research projects, and joint publication with other top-tier universities. The fourth one, Nigerian-South Africa relations. To commemorate the 38th year of diplomatic relationship between Nigeria and South Africa, we hosted the Consular General of South Africa. During this event, it gave us the opportunity to discuss and start discussions, which now recently have been approved, of having a Nigerian-South African Institute at Bowen University, which will become very operational soon. The fifth one, partnership with Walter Sisulu University. We also signed an MOU agreement with Walter Sisulu University in South Africa. This partnership will promote academic collaboration, research initiatives, and exchanges that will mutually benefit both institutions. We continue some of our existing MOU. We've hosted a number of scientists from International Center for Theoretical Physics. We've hosted scientists from University of Johannesburg and a number of other places. Our accreditation that we did last year, this is the report. This year also saw remarkable progress at the home front. 8 of our academic programs received accreditation from National University Commission, further attesting to the quality of education we provided. I need to say that we only applied for 8 and we got the 8. The first one is our BSc in Cybersecurity, BSc in Informational Technology, and BSc in software engineering. These three got full accreditation, which lasts for 5 years from the College of Computer and Communication Studies. Following the accreditation exercise conducted in October-November 2023, our medicine and surgery also received full NUC accreditation. That means the program can run for another 5 years. In the College of Management and Social Sciences, the BSc Industrial Relations and Personnel Management and BSc International Relations were also fully accredited by NUC. That means a validity of another 5 years. Our BSc Architecture and BSc Surveying and Geomatics in the College of Environmental Sciences received interim accreditation valid for 2 years. This is not surprising because this program just started. This is the first experience in that, and I'm sure full accreditation will come when they come next. Infrastructural development. The university has been making effort to improve our infrastructure. Currently, there are 2 800-seater lecture theaters that are nearing completion in the 2 campuses, one at Iwo-Ea and another one at Ogbomoso. Recently, the university was gifted a 100-seater lecture theater here in Iwo campus. It was commissioned on October 12, 2024. We want to thank the generous donor, Deacon Engineer Olufunso and Mrs. Olufumilola Oyedeji Olaniyan. The ongoing construction of a 2-bedroom semi-detached staff quarter at Iwo campus, this is a donation from Meristem Security Limited. That will also be completed very soon. A 300-bed capacity female hostel was just completed recently and commissioned by the President of the Nigerian Baptist Convention, who is also the visitor of the university, Reverend Dr. Israel Adelani Akanji. This was done on Monday, 11th March 2024. Approval has also been given by the Governing Council for the construction of a 300-bed hostel at Bowen University Teaching Hospital, Ogbomoso, and I think some other ones will also be approved in the next council meeting. So we continue to seek support of our community stakeholders for more infrastructural development. I need to say that there is no country where only government bears the responsibility for education. There is no country where education is the sole responsibility of the proprietor. And therefore, we are appealing to stakeholders, friends of Bowen University, that we need your support to develop our infrastructures. Student achievement. Our students have equally distinguished themselves, securing grants and representing Bowen University in Nigeria, in Africa, and also at other international fora in Ghana, Senegal, France, Canada, Japan. This engagement reflects the quality of our education and our commitment to nurturing global citizens. I will just highlight some, not all, because if I want to highlight all, there won't be enough time. Our student achievement includes: 1, winning first position at late Professor Adebo quiz competition for Nigerian medical students. 2 of the 500 level medical students won an international scholarship to attend and present their research papers at the USAID Conrad Eastern Virginia Medical School Research Conference held in Mombasa, Kenya in September 2024. 3, some of our medical students came first at the NIMSA debate competition for the Nigerian Medical Association Southwest region. 4, Alaba Omotoke Iyimide, a 700-level MBBS student, won with distinction the Talent Factor ECG training scholarship for best medical student in one of the basic medical services. 5, Some nursing students participated in debate competition organized by Nigerian University Nursing Students Association, Oyo State Chapter, and won the first position. 6. Bowen Association of Medical Students won various medals during the just concluded NIMSA Southwest Convention held from 12 to 15 September 2024 and took second position at overall. The next one, 10 students in the first class CGPA category. 10 students in the first class CGPA from the College of Law participated in the Body of Benchers Advocate of Nigeria, that's Boss and Scholarship Award, for 2023. And 2 Bowenites, Gifty Energy and Good Umfong Soro, received the prestigious award. I need to say, there are only 6 awards for all the students in Nigeria, and Bowen got 2 out of the 6. 7 out of just about 50 students of our law graduates that went to law school, 7 out of about 50 achieved first-class honors in their final call to bar examination by Council of Legal Education at the Nigerian Law School. That is just to let you know, some may have more than that number, but you compare that with the number they presented. Then, Gift Energy, a 500-level law student, came first at Amnesty International Nigeria 2024 Interfaculty Human Rights Debate held at Base University, Abuja, outperforming other competitors from 11 universities representing all the 6 geopolitical zones. I need to say that the final held between University of Ibadan and Bowen University came first. Aderinola Ogunleye, a 500-level mechatronics student, won a 3,300 grant to attend the International Conference on Robotics and Automation in 2024 in Yokohama in Japan. These are kind of grants that graduate students will normally compete for, and we have our undergraduates getting such grants. 7 architecture students excel at the OASIS 7.0 Osun Architect Sustainable Information Synthesis, securing the first, the second, and the third prizes. First, second, and third prizes. With their winning entries showcased globally at the International Union of Architects World Congress at Architects in Copenhagen in Denmark. Again, another award, Floris Nwachukwu, Ebun Oluwa Obanisola, Oluwa Pelumi Uku-Omenitinson, Iyanu Oluwa Odedeji, Ife Oluwa Fatoki, Oluwa Funbi Abiona, and Oluwa Fumilayo Gbadamosi participated in the Millennium Fellowship class organized by the United Nations Academic Impact and Millennium Campus Network, emerging as Millennium Fellows dedicated to advancing the Sustainable Development Goals. Another award, 4 theater art students, Adedeji Adebisi, Ladipo Akinbade, Moluku Chukwumfunaya, and Ayodele Ayoluwa, received commendation letter from the Federal Capital Development Authority for their exceptional performance during their Suez training. Cyprian Otitochukwu Ofoma, a 500-level electrical electronic engineering student, was honored with a commendation letter from Slamak Nigeria Limited for his outstanding performance during his IT program. That company specifically called that if all our students are like this guy, that they will want to always have students with us. And they have requested that we even sign an MOU. At the Osun State Summit of Mass Communication Students, Imole Ayoadu of Bowen University won the oratory competition, showcasing the student excellence in communication skills. Then, Tubi Samuel Dosumu Olu Folatomi and Ojuati Samuel, 400 level cybersecurity students, and their certification from the International Information System Security Certification Consortium. There are other certifications where some of our students have been certificated. I know there were instances of accounting students who already got chartered while in school. Some of these are not listed there. This is just an example of certifications that we've gotten. Oluwanifemi Adebayo and Joseph Fatoi from Mechatronics program represented Bowen University at the 38th Annual Association of Advancement of Artificial Intelligence Conference on Artificial Intelligence in Vancouver, Canada, as the only African selected at that conference. So we celebrate the talents and dedication of our students who continue to uphold Bowen's reputation for academic excellence and leadership. Staff achievements. I'll just bring up just one, which we just announced not long ago in the chapel. The university is fortunate for the scientist ranking to have 7 of our lecturers who are ranked to be among the top 2% scientists worldwide. And I need to say that out of all the universities and institutions in Nigeria, only 84 ceremony. I'm pleased to announce that 901 students will be graduating earning degrees at various bachelor's, master's, and doctorate level across various disciplines and various academic disciplines. This year's class reflects a spectrum of accomplishments underscoring university dedication to academic excellence. Our graduates have worked hard, and their success is a testament to their dedication and the support of their family, friends, and our faculty. For undergraduate degrees, this year we have 115 first-class honors. We have 323 students who had second-class upper division. We have 192 students with second-class lower. We have 65 students who graduated with a third-class degree, and 7 students with pass degree. In the MBBS Medicine and Surgery program, it's an unclassified program. We have 56 candidates that graduated, with 4 having distinctions. In the field of nursing physiotherapy, which is also unclassified, we have 14 students with distinction, 90 students with credit, and 4 with pass. For postgraduate, we have 10 students who are earning postgraduate diploma, 13 completed their master's degrees, and 12 got their PhDs. These 901 graduates are being honored at this convocation ceremony and are ready to contribute meaningfully to their profession and the wider community. The addition of 901 graduates at the 19th convocation ceremony has raised the total number of Bowen University graduates to an impressive 17,686 since our first convocation in the year 2006, which produced 383 graduates. That's the first set. We remain deeply committed to this legacy of excellence, producing first-rate graduates who distinguish themselves across multiple fields and bring honor to this institution. As we celebrate this milestone this week, we look forward to an even greater achievement, inspired by our vision to shaping lives for service, integrity, and impactful leadership. I thank you for being here today. I am now open to your questions, and I look forward to providing more insight into our achievement and future aspirations. Thank you, and God bless you.
A standing ovation, please. Standing ovation. Don't go yet, sir. That is not enough. That is gold. Please, let's make it a standing ovation. A proper standing ovation. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, for all the milestones, achievements in the academic, structural, can only be possible with a visionary leader. A leader that has an insight into the present and also into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the Vice Chancellor. Thank you, sir, and I'll lead you to come and sit here, sir. At this point in time, I'll call on Mr. Avila to quickly come and do an introduction of the principal officers that are here. Mr. Avila, just 2 minutes. Round of applause for him as well.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The registrar popularly says it is customary for the biggest masquerade to come out last, and this is why we have chosen to do this introduction at this point in time. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll please join me as we welcome the following people who are principal officers of Bowen University. First, the university chaplain, in person of Reverend Dr. Gideon Akombi. Thank you for being here, sir. And then we have our host for this afternoon, who is the university librarian, Dr. Aderonke Otunla. You're welcome, ma'am. Seated right next to her, we have the University Bossa in person of Mr. Babatunde Okpekolaole. You're welcome, sir. And next to him, the University Registrar, Mr. Babatunde T. Adetono. You're welcome, sir. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, with a standing ovation, please, the Vice Chancellor, Professor J.O. Babalola, FAS, FRSC. Thank you for being here, sir. God bless you.
Thank you very much. You can all be seated. And now we've taken the first lap, the first leg, and that is the briefing. The briefing from the man himself, the Vice Chancellor. And so we are now going to go into the media chart. The briefing, the achievements, what he's done, what he's about doing, and what he's going to do for the future. Enormous, no doubt about it. But what we are going to do now, we usually start with the academic. That's when we take our questions to. But we've changed a little bit because we're always open to change. And we're always open to change for excellence at Bowen University. Ladies and gentlemen, this time around we're going to start with my professional colleagues. And when you want to ask a question, I will be the one that will nod you, accept you, so please take the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, you come up, you stand, introduce yourself, introduce the media organization that you are representing. And as much as possible, please, 4 questions tied in one. It's not acceptable this time around. We are running short of time. I'll let you please ask your questions as many times as possible. It is not only statements that we need, it is your question that we really want to the viable Vice Chancellor. So at this time, we are going to open the floor. And so the first person to come on board, kindly stand. Please put your hands up, kindly stand, and then the mic will be given to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a gentleman in front of me. Your name, the media organization you representing.
Good afternoon. My name is Dayo Adu from FRCM Premier FM Ibadan. I want to congratulate the Vice Chancellor and the management of Bowen University for this landmark achievement. For a private university to have this kind of record is highly commendable. My first question. Okay. My first question, you are turning out 115 first class graduates, and you also have list of excellent students, those who have won grants, those who are maybe university proud. Are you just going to turn them out and leave them like that? Do you have a program? Do you have a program to keep them, to mentor them, and to see how they grow? That's one. Then 2, let's look at government policy. We have the NEL fund, the issue of NEL fund. We have that of debt fund, that is non-inclusion of private universities. We also have the newly announced age limit for entry into universities. What is the reaction of Bowen University to this? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this. The education correct. In private universities, we don't have ASU. Now, who provided money for TED Fund? The money for TED Fund was provided by private organizations, not government. And therefore, how do we take money for private and exclude like private institutions from benefiting from such money? It is just unfair. It will be good that government hears this. Because you can't take money from private and fund only government institutions. Because you are already using government from government for government institutions. So even if you say you are not funding private institutions because whatever structure is built in private institution becomes the property of that private institution. The question is what happens to research grants? When you get research grant in private institutions and researches are conducted, the findings are meant to benefit the Nigerian society, not just that university alone. I think government needs to have a rethink about this because what you practice just now is just unfair. Forget about giving them money for infrastructure. But for things, because they are Nigerians as well, and they pay tax as well, and therefore they have a right to benefit from what they pay as tax, and then use it to develop the Nigerian environment. The NEF Fund one is a loan meant for Nigerians. So I believe anybody is in the private university and needs such loan should also be given. Since it's a loan that will be returned, that will be paid back on the long run, why do we discriminate against some? I want government to know, not all students in private university are rich enough to afford it. There are some who, because of strikes in public university, will not want their children to waste their years in public university. I happen to be unfortunate. 3 of my children wasted two years each in public university. So some people will go for cooperative and the likes just because they want their children to come in here and finish on time. So I don't think they ought to be deprived of this kind of benefit. So I think it is unfair if we say we are not giving them. And then the last question is on the age. Yeah, the last one is on age. I am an educationist. I believe in all the 3 areas, and I believe as you look at the cognitive, you need to look at the affective and all the others. The reality is that the Minister for Education may mean well, but you can change the rule of a game at the middle of the game. It is not just right, and I hope they are hearing. You can't change the rule of a game at the middle of the game. If we have a national policy on education that says that students should start primary school at age 6, you didn't implement it at that level. How come you want to implement at the level of the university? If you have a national policy on education that says if your child is age 6 and is not in school, the parents will be imprisoned. You didn't implement that. How come you want to start at the end? So it's just unfair. So I believe that even if such a thing will be implemented, there should be a moratorium of the number of years it takes people to get to university level before such will be implemented, and that is 12 years. So if that moratorium is not there, it will just be unfair. And in addition to that, if you look at many of the students that we have these days, their intelligence, their competencies is much more than what we used to have. In those days when they give birth to children, they close their eyes are closed for 1 week before it is opened. These days, the moment you give birth to a child, the eyes are opened almost immediately. So the level of comprehension of the children of these days is much more than what we used to have. So I think we actually have to do research and determine the right age for students in Nigeria. We cannot just say we are taking what they do in Europe. I have children that were of age. They started school in Nigeria. When they got to Europe, they didn't allow them to school because they were not of age.
So we should not just copy them. We should copy them based on our own research and experience here. So if you see a 16-year-old student in Nigeria, the maturity is like 18 in other places. So we can't just go blindly and say that, oh, they must be 18. And the very bad policy is the fact that if you are starting it now, what happens to students who had finished at 15? You want to keep them home at 15, 16, 17 before 18. So what do you want them to be doing between that period? You want them to become the devil's workshop. And then you create another crisis for Nigeria that's already in crisis. So I believe that the minister may mean well, but the execution has to be properly planned. And proper research has to be done so that you don't just calculate 18. Let's do research in Nigeria and see when our children are actually mature for university education. Thank you.
A round of applause for him. A round of applause for him. Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that was straight to the point. He bears it all. Some will play politics with it, but he said it right to the authorities involved. This is the way it should be. Don't shift the goalpost because you want to have goals. May I have the next person right here, just behind me there in that blue kaftan. Please identify yourself.
The VC, my name is Amit Ojiegbade. I work with Daily Trust newspapers and Trust TV. I'm struggling to see you, sir. So I don't know whether to stay here or to be about manage to come to the front. No, I will stay here. And that will form the premise of my question, which will first come in form of an observation. I like to say that when I look at this banner, I saw convocation ceremony, press briefing and media chat. But then the event looks like a town hall meeting. So I like to say that subsequently, I think it should be a strictly media affair when it's a press conference. It gives the journalists more chance and space. Like for instance, we are supposed to be in the center here so that we can have some eye contact with you rather than me struggling from one corner when the pole is, the pillar or column is actually blocking me. So quickly, I'd like to rush to my question. Prof, you are producing, I think, around 115 first-class graduates. I'd like to know from you, what's the plan of the university for these first-class graduates? Because we know that when you produce this number, and of course, we expect that the university should first enjoy the fruits of its own labor by first being the one to actually absorb some of this first class. So what's your plan for your first class graduates? Then I'd like to know, Prof, you come from the UI, with what I heard, if that is it, now in a private university setting, can you compare? Because we've seen this denial that some people still believe that only those who do not have option of being in federal universities find themselves in private university because that's the last resort. Is that correct? Thank you.
Can I just quickly say something about the town hall meeting? Ladies and gentlemen, please, this is not a town hall meeting. It's quite different. A town hall meeting will have phones that are open to members of the public outside the university community. This is strictly a press conference. Please. And that is why we are starting with members of the press to start asking questions. I said earlier, after the press briefing, then comes the media chart. And that is where you guys come in. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to move forward and talk with the Vice Chancellor, you can please leave your seat and come down up here. Okay? But the impression that is a town hall meeting, it is not. This is specifically tailored towards the media audience. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, the question is, what is the university's plan for the first-class graduates? The university has its own agenda, has its own strategic plan, and ask what and what can be taken into it. And each student, each graduate also have their plans. You see, when a man begins to manipulate another person's life, the person has become a witch. You see, why in the USSR of those days, people revolt and rebel, and they can't speak out, is because government policies want to force them to do what government wants them to do. One thing we know, this is a godly institution. God has given us freedom. If not, you don't have your will. God will force you to do whatever he wants you to do. So there's this free will for all our students to do whatsoever they want to do based on the lessons they have been taught in life, based on their aspirations, and also based on their parents' will. And the university will always make available opportunities for them when there are vacancies to take the first class that could meet, that we can take for places where there are vacancies. So I think I would just say that, the kind of question I will ask. I've been privileged to be dean and provost and sub-dean, all for a period of about 10 years. Most of the first class candidates we produce in University of Ibadan, for instance, they don't stay in Nigeria. They fly almost immediately for further studies. And the ones that don't fly, the next thing they do is that they get job in cell. And sometimes when some of them come back and they show us their pay slip, the student you have just graduated is collecting about 6-7 times your salary as a professor. So we can't force them to come and be teachers like us. And so we respect their will, but normally the university will always help. And one other thing we've been struggling and making serious effort to do is that with a very sound alumni group, once they graduate, they're able to relate with the alumni who will more or less induct them into the kind of things that are in the world. So these are some of our plans for our first class candidate. But I think I need to say this. I used to personally also have this impression that, when you get to private university, they have many first class. Yeah, there will be. The first question I will ask you is that go and check JAMB scores these days. There are many students with 300 and something over 400, 300 and something over 400 who are here in private universities. Many. This year, there are many of them that were not yet 16 years. But thank God for the recent opportunity JAMB gave that we should take people who will be 16 by August. Many of them that got 300 and something we could not admit earlier. So if you go now and check our record and see how many of them are coming in with 300 score, over 300 score in JAMB, you see many of them. And of course, once you say first class, that will be anybody who has scored 280 and above in JAMB. So many of them are actually here. And that shows that we actually took them in as first class candidates. And we are producing them as first class candidates. The other fact is the fact that the level of dedication of staff in private universities is often much more than that of public universities. Private universities, parents will call and talk. Students have a right to talk. I've been telling our students they have a right to talk with respect. That is where intelligence, initiative, critical thinking develops. A society, people are able to talk. Ask me why developed societies in the West develop much more than other places. It's because people can express themselves. So that's why we have that number. Now, I'm saying that people don't have options. That's why they come to private universities. I think I've spoken briefly about it. Strike is one thing that is killing Nigeria. I'm a member of ASU. I never supported any strike because I've been in the West. I know that when you go on strike in the West, the union pays your salary for the days you are off from work. And of course, it's unfortunate, government in some places are also very sensitive. When they go on strike for 2 hours, not even days, They just say they are having strike 2 hours to protest against government. Government will jitter. Just for 2 hours strike. Here we go on 9-month strike. Government doesn't care. Ministers will come out and bragado. I will deal with them. It is not a good sign. You see, in other places, when they say somebody cheated, probably plagiarized 2 sentences, he resigns. In Nigeria, when you are caught stealing money, you still come back and return, and you are celebrated as a king. So what I'm saying, in effect, is that we have dedicated member of staff. And there are no strikes. But when university started, the same day we started the session, that was the same day we started lectures. Am I right? Yes, that's what we do here. So you won't be surprised that many people will want their children to benefit from this. I want to ask you, you came into Bowen University. What did you see? Don't you see a little London in Nigeria? Many parents will want to see their children experiencing a London in Nigeria. At least have a fair experience of what a developed environment should be. I want to tell you, before the Band A syndrome, Bowen University used to have 24/7 electricity. We have a line. But of course, with this Band A of 18, the bill became very astronomical, and we needed to be wise. And we provide light whenever we have 20 generator. We are now going alternative energy supply to make sure we maintain our 24/7. So parents who want their children to enjoy this would definitely send their children to private universities. I want to ask you, many people from outside the country send their children to Nigeria. They don't send them to public universities. They send them to private universities because they know that is where they will get the best. It is not a curse. In the next few years, private universities will be top in Nigeria. Only private universities. When you talk of Harvard today, Harvard is not a public university. It's a private university. Stanford, so many of these ones, many of the private universities rather, in the US are the ones on top. So that's the same thing that is coming up in Nigeria, because government is never serious with what is their own. Thank you, and God bless you.
A round of applause for him. Another round of applause for him. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, sir, we'll come over to you. Please, if you want to make eye contact with the Vice Chancellor, you can come down here. For being seated where a pillar is erected, it's not deliberate. Please, okay? It just happens to be a structural arrangement we did this time around. We used to have media personalities right here before, and there were complaints that this pillar was obstructing them as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we can indulge that whenever you want to make eye contact with the Vice Chancellor, please take the mic and come forward. We can accept that. Right here, I have a gentleman here. Where is the mic? Right there. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Joshua Rada of Leadership Newspapers. I want to congratulate you on a lot of achievements this university has made, as enumerated here. But I want to go straight to the reason where we are gathered here. That is the convocation ceremony. I want you, sir, to please brief us on the content of the convocation ceremony. For example, I've gone through the text. We don't know exactly the date that convocation is coming up. Then we want to know what will be the content of that convocation. Are you giving honors to whosoever? And besides, who are the dignitaries we are expecting at the convocation committee? Good afternoon, sir.
To what he just said. My name is Rafiu Hamid. I work with TVC. I've checked through the text you read, sir. I've not seen if you are conferring honorary doctorate degrees on some people. If so, who are those people? If not, why are you not conferring it on them this year? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The convocation ceremony itself will be coming up on 2nd of November by 10 a.m. at the University Chapel. Before then, there will be a convocation lecture to be delivered by Professor Oyewale Tomori, who is the #1 virologist in Nigeria. He was the former president of Nigeria Academy of Science and now the chairman of network of West Africa Academy of Sciences. He will be there. We have our convocation play also on Friday. We have baccalaureate tomorrow and we have bonfire tomorrow. So these are some of the things we have lined up. Now the content of convocation. Convocation is one of the 4 structures of a university. The university has 4 arms. 1 is the council, 2 is the senate, 3 is the congregation, and 4th aspect is the convocation. Convocation essentially means you are bringing in all stakeholders of the university into a gathering, which includes the alumni, includes the founder, includes members of staff, includes students, and all. That is the convocation. And it comes up normally once a year. It's a system that was derived from where education was derived. That's from the scriptures. Convocation. When God says the convoke, everybody comes together. And the celebration is what we'll be having. Now there's this question. A convocation ceremony is actually to celebrate our students who have been here for 3, 4, 5 years, who have seen both sunshine and rain, who have undergone torture and successes, who have gone through hunger and times of celebrations. People have burned candles at both ends. So I want to say, and I want to correct appropriately, and even for my colleague vice chancellors, that convocation ceremony is to really celebrate the graduates, the undergraduate, the postgraduate students. The celebration is not more of honorary, but because of people wanting to get money, wanting to get whatsoever, that is why many people will go and award honorary degrees. I told myself, when you are to be celebrated, you naturally be celebrated. You don't buy celebrations. It's good to earn respect. Don't let people fear you. And what we told ourselves is, let's build a university structure. So I will answer the question by saying, this year, Bowen University is not giving an honorary degree. Honorary degree comes when people really enhance it. And the process of giving honorary degree is that Senate makes announcement for people to nominate people they know that deserve honorary degree. Not the vice chancellor sitting down in his office or the principal officer sitting down and saying, let's give to this man because he can make this building for us. No. So we made that announcement, probably because we are doing it for the first time. Because people all around, former students, alumni, everybody was free to nominate, and we couldn't get any. Because if you have gotten any, there's a committee at Senate level that should screen. And after that, should go to council for ratification. For concurrence, not ratification. Council has to approve, Senate has to approve. And we didn't get any. And I told myself, we won't give any. Because many times when they celebrate, the honorary degree take more attention than the candidate that actually ought to be celebrated, which we must change in Nigeria. So this year, there is no honorary degree. By God's grace, next year, we may have. And you know, it was even becoming a problem one time that the committee of vice chancellors had to come together and made a rule that there must not be more than 3 in any year. And they even said it clearly, it is not compulsory to have any. So this year, because our honorary awardees must meet our standards, that is excellence, that you can point to and say this person has actually achieved excellence. And the person must be godly. If there's a stain on that person, we cannot award. So this year, we don't have any. Next year, we may have. Thank you and God bless you.
Another round of applause for him. Another bigger round of applause. Thank you very much. That was a very good point right down there. And like he's always been doing, he always takes the bull by the horn. It's not something common in this country. Honorary awards are given to people. Sometimes you question the integrity and manner of those who are receiving the honorary awards. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for him. May I, who from the media community, the media world, any other questions coming from my professional colleagues out there? Yes, sir. You don't have to hide behind the wall. You can just move a little bit down there.
I have been having eye contact with the VC
Great,
from the very
beautiful.
beginning. Well, permit me to align with the already established protocol. Mine is not a question per se, but to crave your indulgence that as you move into the media chat, we may likely take our leave, because if not for the persistence of the PRO, we may not be here. We have programs waiting for us in the state capital. So thank you for answering all our questions to our satisfaction. Thank you and congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much. Before you take your leave, sir, we also have questions to be asked from the younger ones, the students in mass communication, and the students generally. We'll take 1 or 2 or 3 questions just to feel the pulse of their mood. I want to ask the Vice Chancellor, can I see your hands up, those who are ready? We are not going to take more than 1 or 2 questions. Who is there? Please identify yourself. Come over. There is a mic right down there.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adegbe Bukolua, and I am a mass communication student. VC, sir, you mentioned about entrepreneurs in the campus. I want to ask, what plan are you making towards encouraging the entrepreneurs in the campus? That's my question, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, I think I should take the questions one by one. You know, we have a course, and we have a week to celebrate, and we also have groups. And I know that emphasis have been more of using initiative rather than skills, which I also agree with. And you see, of recent, we had a number of issues that I believe we really have to tackle. There are quite a number of students who are neglecting their education at the expense of their entrepreneurship skills. So what we've been doing, we actually had a meeting before the immediate past Vice Chancellor left on trying to put some restructuring into our entrepreneurship. So I think that will continue with. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joanne Do, and I'm a mass comm student. So, sir, you talked a lot about academic achievements in your speech, but I want to talk about extracurricular activities like sports. Do you see the students of Bowen participating in events like the Olympics or the National Basketball Association? And if so, what are your plans to achieve this, sir?
Thank you. In education, sports belongs to one of the aspects. The cognitive is the one that we've been laying more emphasis on. The psychomotor is equally very, very important, under which we have sports. We have sport fields, and we also have, actually there are some I didn't mention. Our students went for sports, and they came back with medals. That's actually to tell you that we also care. But you see, I'm sure your parents are much more interested in you coming with the cognitive before the psychomotor. I hope you understand. So we still continue to give preference to sports, but it won't be at the expense of the cognitive. Thank you.
Another round of applause for the Vice Chancellor. Any other question from the student body? Just one more.
All protocols duly observed. My name is Alonge Deborah, and I'm in 300 level mass communication. So during your speech, you mentioned 2 students that got scholarships. And from your explanation, you can see that these students sourced for the scholarships themselves and got it. And you also mentioned collaborating with universities in and outside Nigeria. But I noticed that you did not mention any collaboration with any scholarship agency in Nigeria. So my question goes does the school have any plan of collaborating with scholarship agencies that is open to every student in the school? Thank you, sir.
Well, I will answer. The student didn't, the scholarships that students got, they got through their system. Is that okay? So it wasn't a direct one. If it were to be a direct one, we might not even be aware. And of course, there are opportunities to do a direct contact to get scholarships. I am a bit familiar with various scholarships. I have supervised 18 PhD students. There is none of them that didn't use a scholarship. And I've seen that the scholarship system in Nigeria is more of a business system. We really don't have funding agencies like we ought to have. So most scholars, in fact, where's Dr. Ibamji is probably not here. We've just taken on a PhD student together because I know I may not have time. He is co-supervising. The student is currently now on scholarship in India for his PhD work. I hope you understand. So we have enough contact to be able to get students linked with external world where they will get enough contact. I participated in a study abroad fair last year. They've just sent me another invitation for this year. And quite a number of people have also written us. They want agreement. You see, sometimes when you read the MOU, you become a bit conscious. Some of us are people, when we swear to our own oaths, we won't change. So it's better not to sign than to sign and get inside and discover, what do you call it? So that's why I'm personally a bit conservative and very, very careful. There are opportunities we can always expose students to. Like this morning in the chapel, I said, talk to some of these lecturers. There are quite a number of other lecturers in the university. Dr. Adebayo has linked many students up with scholarship. That was school. So, and there are many lecturers who would normally do that. When you want to do the one within Nigeria, that is purely business. This other one is not business. You get it, there's nothing in exchange, other than you are promoting their culture. For instance now, when you talk about Germany, I will promote Germans. When their football teams are playing, I will support them because I benefited immensely from them. I benefited from DRD, I benefited from AVH, I benefited from DIES, all from Germany. When you talk about the Italians, I will promote Italy. If Italy is playing with Turkey, I will support Italy because I benefited from many things from Italy. I used their Trill Fellowship, I used their regular associate fellowship, I used their senior associateship, and many other things. If you are talking about Argentina, I will support Argentina against Spain because I benefited from scholarship from Argentina. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that's what they get from it. They can associate with me because I benefited from them. So that's why the promotion is more with things that doesn't have to do with business. And for instance, now I know if we have students who in mechatronics who wants to go and do whatsoever in University of Lincoln, there's pure opportunity. So we make contacts and we get scholarship. But of course, to get scholarship, you need to have done well and be able to compete competitively. So thank you.
Thank you very much. This is where we have to round off, but I crave the indulgence of my professional colleagues. I know we have deadlines to meet. Now, there is a colleague of mine from FRCN, that's right, Yoruba sir. That's short for our Yoruba speaking audience.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún oore ọ̀fẹ́ tó fún wa láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bí ọdún mọ́kàndínlógún sẹ́yìn láti máa fún àwọn èèyàn ní ìwé ẹ̀rí àti gba oyè àkọ́kọ́. Ọlọ́run ti ràn wá lọ́wọ́ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ wa ni wọ́n ń gba ẹ̀bùn láti ta láti lọ fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àkójọpọ̀ àwọn ọ̀mọ̀wé káàkiri àgbáyé. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ wa ni wọ́n ti ṣe oríṣiríṣi àṣeyege nígbà tí wọ́n faragbága pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹgbẹ́ wọn láti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ibòmíràn. A sì rí i pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ wa nílùú inú ilé ìwé Bowen ló ti fakọyọ. Mo sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn ọmọ wa tó lọ sí law school. 7 nínú àwọn bíi 50 tó ló gba first class. Tàbá wọlé ipò láwọn tó wá láti bòmí á rí i pé Ọlọ́run ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Irú ẹ̀bùn Bosan tí ó wà 6, Bowen nìkan mú 2 inú ẹ̀. Àsáfẹ́sọpọ̀ Ọlọ́run ò ṣètò ni. So Ọlọ́run ti ràn wá lọ́wọ́ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀. A sì gbàdúrà pé a máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́ sí i. Pé àwọn ọmọ wa tó jókòó níbí gbogbo wọn ó gbìyànjú láti fakayọ nínú ohun gbogbo tí wọ́n bá ń ṣe. Bowen a mọ̀ wá fún ká máa ṣe nǹkan kó dára ká sì fi ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run ṣe èyí tí a wò pé ó ṣe pàtàkì. Ọlọ́run yóò sì máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Ẹ ṣé.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we have to call it. But before we do that, sir, there is something I'm supposed to sit here and then we'll chat with you. It's about our radio station. We need your assistance, we need your support, and we need it to go.
Yes, your radio station is always of interest to us. When we remove all masks, we left your mask. And Osun State government have been running after us. I think it's an opportunity for newspaper to let Osun State government know that when you want to kill education, that is when you ask us not to practice while they are in school. I wonder why Osun State government will be asking us to pay for masks for trainee students. Trainee students asking us to pay ₦1 million every year. It is not the best for a country that wants to develop. We'll continue to support your students. You see, recently we have quite a number of lecturers coming in for communication and language arts and mass communication, bringing experts who are well known in the field to come and give them hands-on. That is what we believe in, so that when these ones graduate, they can easily flow into the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And at this point in time, this is where we have to say bye-bye. I'm not the one who's going to say that. And I'll now call on the registrar, Mr. Babatunde Adetono, to give us his closing remarks. A round of applause for him, please. That was nice.
Okay, I've been advised to say that I should just close the remarks just like that. But it's better to also say 1 or 2 words of appreciation to gentlemen of the press. Once again, we want to thank you for the reportage that we have been receiving from you for Bowen University. So please, let's give gentlemen of the press another round of applause. You know, we applauded them when we started. We are still applauding them. Please, let us applaud them once again. Okay, also let me thank our distinguished students. Honestly, I love you. Just give yourself another round of applause. Okay, members of Senate, distinguished provost, other members of staff, thanks for supporting the Vice Chancellor. So please give yourself another round of applause. My indefatigable university chaplain, ever supporting Bossa because he has paid my salary, ever radiating university librarian, Dr. Aderonke Otunla, and the anchor. You see, some people said there's no substitute for experience. Age is experience, and experience is asset. So we want to give it to Mr. Feyi Ogunduele. Okay, thank you. Okay. Also, let me now thank the Vice Chancellor. This is, in my own assessment, you have answered the questions excellently well. I was privileged to have worked with him when he was provost of postgraduate studies University of Ibadan. I was his deputy registrar. So we have worked together. I know he's highly cerebral, he's very intelligent, he's very quiet and unassuming. More grace or more power to your hair, sir. Let's give it to the Vice Chancellor once again. Okay. Now, I also want to thank myself. Yes, because, and if you don't clap for me very well, I will delay your certificate. So everybody, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Before we take the closing prayers, please, all principal officers, every principal officer that is in this hall should please come down here, and we are going to take a group photograph. It's to be used by one of the media personalities. I think they want to use it as a photograph to represent their story. And so it is important that we be part of it here and take the group photograph with the Vice Chancellor. At this point in time, we started with prayers, and then we'll definitely shut off with prayers. And I call on the university chaplain, that is the presence of Dr. Gideon Akombi, to lead us in closing prayers.
All right, let's pray together one more time. Eternal Father, we have come again to return all the glory to you for how you have helped us tremendously in this program. We thank you for making this program to be inspiring to us. Thank you, God, because through this program, we've been able to appreciate your great hands and your great work in Bowen University. Thank you for the achievement of the past, and thank you for what we are celebrating at the moment. Thank you for the great future that is ahead of us, the future we believe so strongly in, that you are going to bring us into. We give you praise and we give you thanks. Thank you because we have experienced your hands and your help in today's press conference. We believe you for a greater tomorrow as we continue the convocation program down through Friday, the convocation lecture, and the grand finale on Saturday. And we are going to celebrate with students and parents and the faculty. Lord, we thank you because we are deeply assured that we are not going to fail, that everything will result in glory. We give you thanks ahead of time. We appreciate you. Lord, as we continue with other businesses of the day, we ask that we will enjoy your direction, we will enjoy your leadership, we will enjoy your presence on Bowen University campus. Lord, for those who will return to their base, who will travel out of this campus today, we receive journey messages for them. And those who are coming in again today and tomorrow and down to Saturday, Lord, ahead of time, we receive safety for them. Thank you, blessed Father. Thank you for making everything good. We are grateful unto you, deeply, deeply grateful unto you. Blessed be your name, Heavenly Father. Receive our thanks and receive our praise. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Thank you.